Hello and welcome, welcome. I see Mumsy in the house. Woohoo! Welcome. Glad to see you here this evening for me, this morning for you. Have a lot of great stories to go over. You know, I didn't think it was that busy. And as I went back through the week looking at various stories to open the tabs and have them ready, I ended up with more than I had last week. Oh my goodness. So I figured we'd start off with the Thai border stories to get them out of the way. Most of the news this week has all been about the border with Thailand and meetings and support and stuff. So most of that I'm not including. But there was a couple of stories that I thought were of interest. I know a lot of people that watch are in the United States. And, you know, borders are an issue there. European countries have issues with borders. You know, it's not just Cambodia that has border issues. And so anyway, what's Cambodia doing? Well, one of the first things they did is they have blocked the import of fruits and vegetables. And this is talking about two particular border gates, but it's all the border gates now, I believe. There is no imports, no Thai imports are being allowed into Cambodia. So that's one thing. They are allowing tourists to go through. Here you see some private cars going through, but they're just not allowing any trade. Hey, Gibbo is in the house. You don't have that many borders in England. I mean, there's a border with Ireland, between Northern Ireland and Ireland, since Northern Ireland is part of the UK. So that would be a border. And Scotland and Wales, they're semi-independent. I think they have their own parliaments, but they're still part of the UK, you know. Aurora is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Oh, did I not show? Here I am telling you about it. Here, I'll scroll through. It's got to happen once. Get it out of the way early. See, so here's just people that are lining up to cross the border. Individual people can cross. Here's some private cars. They can cross. Okay. So there's that. Brexit means Brexit. There you go. Next up, the Ministry of Labor offers 230,000 job opportunities. Now, this isn't necessarily a crime, but it's part of the border issue. So this guy here is the Minister of Labor. And so what they've done, there's lots of stories. I just opened this one. Cambodia has called their migrant workers that are in Thailand to come back. And they can work here. They don't have to go to Thailand and be away and send the money back to their families. They can come live in Cambodia and have jobs. Because there's a bit of fear that if a Cambodian is in Thailand, they could, if the border issue worsens, which nobody hopes that it, we hope that it does not do that. But if it did, then Cambodians could suffer racism while they're in Thailand, or they could, an employer could decide, you know what, we don't want Cambodians here anymore, and they could all lose their jobs and get kicked out. So they want to be preemptive by calling as many people as will come back to Cambodia. So they have found factories and whatever jobs, 230,000 jobs. And people are coming back. Gibbo says his friend Bossy says she's been watching and loves your channel, Maven. Thank you. Tell Bossy thank you. I'll say it. You're watching. Hi, Bossy. Thanks for watching. So anyway, that's a good thing. So another thing that Cambodia has done, it says here, cut dependency on Thai services and kickboxers and movies. I actually have another one on the movies. But so here's a guy, like, I guess up there cutting the wires or whatever, cutting the internet cable. So we are cutting any internet service provided by Thailand. The television stations have said they are not going to show any Thai kickboxing, and they will also not show any Thai movies. I'm not sure if the cinemas are also not showing Thai movies, but definitely TV. Blah, 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 blah. Thailand had threatened to cut the internet service and any electricity that they sell to Cambodia. And so again, in a preemptive measure, they're like, well, you know what? We don't need your internet and we don't need your electricity. We have enough electricity that we're producing on our own or getting from other sources, such as maybe Vietnam. And so we don't need your stinking electricity. We don't need your stinking internet. This is basically what happened. Okay, here's the other story. So it is cinemas. And let me tell you, there's a lot of Thai movies in the cinemas. There's two main cinema, movie theater chains. There's Legend and there's Major. There's also one called Prime. I don't know if they're still running, maybe, but you have to buy those rights. And if you've already purchased the rights for those movies and you don't get to show them on the screen, there was a day when they would just show movies. They would just show there was it's so funny. When I first moved here, there was a station on the cable that what they did is it was like a VCR that was running, right? And they would just pop in a VCR, not even a DVD. We're talking VCR. They put in a videotape, it would play, and you'd watch this movie on the cable, on this one station, on the cable channel, this one cable channel. And the movie would end, and there you would see eject, and it would come, you wouldn't see it coming out, but you'd see on the screen eject, and then they'd put it in, and then play. I mean, it was a pirate channel, basically, because nobody understood licensing and how to get licensing and stuff. That's one of the things that I did when I came here, is I taught people about licensing. I took them to Hong Kong to the film market, and now they do it on their own. And Traveling Fools is in the house. Yo, yo, yo. I'm so glad you're here, because I just did want to shout out that there was some kind of volcano eruption in Bali. And I know that your wife is from there. So I hope all of her family is okay. All right. Next up, we have got, so the other one I was like focusing, I opened the tab because of the kickboxing. Here's just, it's talking about the Thai internet. So all of our internet has been slower because like the main feeds coming into Cambodia have now have there's less bandwidth available. So, and there were like a couple of phone services for the phone data. There was no internet connection depending on which phone service you had and stuff. It was, but now I think everything's kind of settled down a bit with the internet. I think everybody's got some. And the last one about the Thai border is that they have filed a lawsuit with the International Court of Justice to decide about the border. Basically, there was a map that the French had done back in the day. I don't know what year. And because they did several maps, so I don't know exactly which one they're talking about. But, both sides, Thailand and Cambodia, had like agreed, okay, this is the map. But now Thailand has created their own map and said, this is the map, and it shows the land is ours. And so you're on our land, and that's where this dispute is coming from. And so when they're talking about this going to the International Court of Justice, they're actually talking about which map to use, asking them to settle it. Can't believe all those wires. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually very clean looking. There's a lot. Oops. This one. This is very clean looking for wires. There's a lot of spaghetti stuff out and about. Okay, so here's our first there's a couple of serious crime stories, and so this is the first one. A farmer decapitates a 6-year-old nephew over disrespect. 6 years old. And then he buried the body behind their home. So he was 31. It says that the suspect was a drug user. He confronted the 6-year-old nephew over a perceived disrespect. The boy had threatened to inform his grandparents about his drug use, which would be probably the parents of the suspect. He's been sent to a rehabilitation center twice by his father. Doesn't say what he used to do the decapitation. But the grandmother discovered the body later around 10 p.m. And she alerted the local authorities, who recovered the body for examination. Oh, the homemade blade. So probably machete-ish. Yeah. Angry over the disrespect, insults, and accusations of drug use. So that's sad. Yeah. Terrible sad. I agree, Mumsy. Next up, there was a man injured in a landmine blast at a construction site. So I went ahead and showed this because look at the size of this bucket and look at the damage to this bucket. That was a serious explosion. That had to have been like an anti-tank mine to do this much damage, I think. An excavator bucket. It was just digging soil. So he was steering the machine. Dun, dun, dun. They add into the story that don't be confused. This has nothing to do with the skirmish at the border. He was plowing a field, you know. Doesn't say exactly what kind of injury, just seriously injured. But that's what it did to the bucket. So that was a serious explosion. Next up, this we don't see in the news so much. So a man arrested for assaulting a mentally disabled woman. And this is quite an older gentleman. On numerous occasions, he's 64 years old and assaulted the 35-year-old mentally ill woman. And so she was disabled, mentally disabled, lived with her elderly mother who had dementia. The suspect lived nearby, used to regularly provide food and water to the victim's family. And then the victim's cousin, I guess the victim's cousin probably said that the suspect confessed. Oh, according to the cousin and the confession, the suspect had sneaked into the victim's house while the victim's mother was not at home, talked to her, and had sex with her several times, up to 3 times on the last night. The incident was caught by the victim's cousin and recorded on video. The suspect immediately panicked and fled the scene on an old bicycle. So at the time that this was written, he was still being detained for further action. So I'm glad they were able to catch him. You know, get some justice for this poor woman. Here, a drug addict killed his own mother and daughter with a brick. There's the bricks. 3-year-old daughter, his elderly mother and his 3-year-old daughter. He's 32. The mother was 66. And then, of course, 3 years old. He confessed that he did indeed kill them. He hit the mother in the back of the head with the brick and then dragged the victim from the house to the ground. It's probably like a wooden house on stilts. And continued to hit her with bricks until she lost consciousness. Then he went back up into the house, took a brick and hit his daughter, who was sleeping, in the head, and then threw her from the house to the ground. And then went down and continued to hit the daughter and the mother until they both lost consciousness. They were rushed to the hospital but died. Okay, so he said the reason he did it was because he was angry with his mother, who always blamed and cursed him, calling him a coward. There you go. So he's not going to get out anytime soon. It happens. Oh, shoot. Didn't share it. There you go. This is the guy. This is the bricks. Okay. Share this tab instead. And so this was interesting. See, these yellow poles have been installed outside of the school because too many people were parking here, like on the sidewalk area, which is like normally done all over Cambodia, not just in front of schools, in front of houses, and whatever. If there's space, people will park. They'll just pull up on the curb and park. And so they have installed poles to prevent this. So good. Ignore the notifications on my phone. Yeah, I just changed it. Okay, up next, money lender arrested after slapping a woman. So there's the woman that he slapped. This is the guy. So she owed money, and he was demanding the repayment, and he slapped her. 2 million reals would be maybe $2,000. Not two. Divide it by 4,000. So take off 3 zeros, but then divide the 2 by 4. Whatever. I'm not going to deal with the math. You guys can deal with the math if you want. So she refused to pay as agreed. He cursed her relentlessly, slapped her several times, and challenged to sue her. It says challenged her to sue. I think it means challenged to sue her. I mean, not even challenged. It would be like he threatened. He threatened to sue her, is what it should say. The arrest of the man took place after an incident at his shop around 11 a.m. 33-year-old guy, and she's 44 years old, works as an employee in the above shop. Police arrived at the scene, took him in for $2,000. Oh, no, wait. Now she's filing a lawsuit demanding $2,000 in compensation for her emotional distress and to pay for medical expenses, and another $500 to settle the debt she owed to her boss to get her motorbike back to work. Comes to money, things can get aggressive. Okay, next up. A restaurant that provided sex services was raided in Phnom Penh. So this is the restaurant. Looks like an outdoor beer garden, what we would call a beer garden. They arrested 13 people of providing illegal services. This is the police at the restaurant. I guess they loaded the 13 people up into the van to take them away. Most people in their 20s, some 18, 130, 135. Yeah. So good. Money, 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 money. Okay, next up. Phnom Penh Council urges police action on noisy exhausts. So what happens is some people, they want to put on aftermarket mufflers that make their motors, you know, these motorcycle, but really it's more like a scooter, to make them sound loud. And so they will police, and this is what happens. They'll get this kind of an order to crack down on something, crack down on wearing helmets, crack down on no license plates, crack down on drunk driving, crack down on exhaust pipes. And so then for the next week or two, that's all they do. I mean, they don't stop anything else. They just stop the thing that they're tasked to crack down on. So that's going to be going on for the next couple of weeks, probably. Next up. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this tontine thing. I'd never heard of it until I came here, but apparently it's a thing. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme in a way. But basically, everybody pitches in. Let's say everybody gives $10 to the person that is running the tontine. And then after a certain amount of time, then you randomly pick pick somebody. It's like a lottery, I guess, or a raffle. I guess it's more like a raffle. Everybody puts this money in, and then at an appointed time, one person gets picked to get all the money. And people in Asia love to do this. Let me know if you've ever heard of a tontine before. Let me see what it says in the story. So it says that this young woman led the tontine group and defrauded all the other members of nearly $300,000. So she was telling everybody that she would provide high monthly interest returns, almost like maybe like a money market fund, where instead of buying an individual stock, only this has nothing to do with stock exchange, but whatever way they're supposed to increase the money, everybody's putting in a piece of it, of investing. But after she got all the money from everybody, she just left with it. And nobody could find her until they did. So she got busted. I mean, it really is like a scam. Yeah, you never heard of it. I'd never heard of taunt. So here, let me go. Wait. Okay. An annuity shared by subscribers to a loan or common fund, the shares increasing as the subscribers die until the last survivor enjoys the whole income. Okay, that's like the official original way. So it's like it's supposed to be like a life insurance kind of thing, but only the ones that survive. But they use it. I mean, it can be. Yeah. Okay. What is the concept of a tontine? So here on this one, it says a tontine is a scheme where a group of individuals contribute money to create collective savings and lend to one another based on mutually agreed terms. Okay, so that's another form of tontine. What is a synonym? Now in here, this is like a grab bag. What is an example of a tontine? Whenever a member dies, the portion of the cash flow being received by the surviving members increases. So if a tontine has 11 members, each receiving $1,000 a month, $11,000 in total, one member passes away. Now the 10 remaining members will get $1,100 per month. So, and anyway, it's a thing here in Asia, and she just left with the money. So, and I thought this was interesting, kind of natural disasters. About the only type that we get in Cambodia is flooding or storms. And we don't get bad storms that often, because any, like, the Pacific has typhoons. Do you guys know this? I've noticed that international weather people aren't following the rules anymore. But the rule is a tropical storm develops into a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean, a typhoon in the Pacific Ocean, and a cyclone in the Indian Ocean. Okay? So typhoons in the Pacific Ocean, when they come into land, they cross over the Philippines, and then they'll hit Vietnam, and then there's mountains between Vietnam and Cambodia. And so it'll weaken, and there's enough land even over the Mekong Delta You guys all know that as a hurricane hits land, it dissipates. So anyway, a storm will dissipate before it gets to us, and there aren't any that develop on the Gulf of Thailand. They don't exist there. So the only way they can come is over Vietnam, and they dissipate before they get here. So we don't really have hurricane force winds. But this is an example of a house that the high winds destroyed. And you can see how it's on stilts. In that previous story where the guy threw out the mother and the daughter, threw them out of the house to the ground. Well, it could have been a house like this. And I hate it when they talk. So this corrugated steel, isn't that what we call these roofs, what they've got for roofs right here, corrugated steel? They call it zinc. Drives me nuts, but whatever. Total of 5 houses were destroyed, but it did not cause any harm to people or animals, so that's good. Again, you can see this is the floor of the house. So there's that. Next up, 4 died in a fire, an inferno, including a 9-month-old baby. So this was really sad. There was another fire that a guy died in, but I didn't include that one. So this intense blaze swept through the house, 5 o'clock in the morning on my birthday. This is the house after it's burned, and they're taking the bodies away in an ambulance. They said it was an electrical fire. Let me see. But looks like a father and a mother, 38 and 32, and then the children, 10 and 9 months old, 10 years old and 9 months old. And these are kind of like rice sacks, I think. I mean, not rice sacks, but the same kind of material as rice sacks, but made for bodies. And so this is the pagoda. This is the local pagoda. I thought this might be interesting to see kind of funeral rites in Cambodia. They'll either take them to the house or to a pagoda, or to the house first and then the pagoda. Obviously, the house is where the fire was, so they took them straight to the pagoda, where they'll end up being cremated. So yeah, that's sad. Usually faulty wiring or something, or overloading your sockets. Another bird flu case here in Cambodia. It was a 65-year-old woman. She just has the symptoms, but she's in the hospital. So far so good. But does it say how many cases that makes now? Come on, why didn't you put that in the story? Was this on the weekend? Yeah, it was on a Saturday, so there wasn't like staff to really edit the story, because I would definitely like include that. Like, so this is what number of the year? So she was confirmed positive on May 12th. But it didn't hit the news until June 14th. So there's sporadic bird flu cases. So hopefully, oh shoot, share this tab instead. Gosh darn, did it again. This is the only picture of the birds. Doesn't show the lady. Okay, next up. Siem Reap mistake murderers arrested. And so look at these guys. Pretty young. They've got a sword. I didn't read the story yet. But they claim that, so they arrested 9 suspects. And they all claim that it was by mistake. A case of mistaken identity that led to a young man being struck on the head with a samurai sword, and who later died in the hospital. These guys are all in their 20s, 22, 23, 22, 21, 16 and 16 and 19 and 16 and 13. Since he's under 14, so 14 is like the cutoff age legally, I guess. So since he's a minor under 14, he's been granted bail. They've all been sent to court. Sorry, we hit the guy in the head, with the sword, and we killed him. But it was by accident. It was the wrong guy, so it doesn't count. Right? That's the logic. Let's see. This is 8. This is 8 of them. The 13-year-old is not in the picture. Yeah, bird flu is bad. Yeah, we don't want any bird flu. Okay, next up. Another good thing, Cambodia is protecting children from exploitation. This was International World Day Against Child Labor. So the government is coming out saying that they want to take measures on, especially for migrant workers, that their children are protected. The issues here include underage labor, so children working, trafficking, abuse, exploitation, and legal issues. So that's good. And the last story is good. Wanted to end on a good note, so I made sure this one stayed at the end. Chi Chlorb, the elephant, recovers after surgery. So look at this. Look at this. This is the elephant get under his anesthesia for surgery. It was successful. It's recovering in the Kulin Elephant Forest. 45 years old. That's middle age. An elephant's lifespan is about the same as a human lifespan. So that's, middle age. It was a tusk extraction operation. Wildlife Alliance helped with it. She's now resting comfortably under close observation. They're incredibly proud to have successfully pulled off this first operation of its kind in Cambodia's history, hopefully paving the way for further improvements in the realm of elephant welfare within the kingdom. So there you go. Good news. It was very risky in a remote forest area. It had technical and logistical challenges. That must be her Mahot. Look at how they have this big inner tube here to put her trunk on. Another inner tube back here with hay for her foot. Wow. Look at these tools and instruments. This must be where the tusk was. So good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Hit the share and subscribe. Yeah, it was an accident. I know, Gibbo. It doesn't count. It was an accident. Crazy. So there we go. Before anybody runs away, please let me remind you that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you're watching this, I love you. I do. Just take it. It's for you. So that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed all these crazy stories coming out of Cambodia, what happens here. And tomorrow night, we'll do some kind of game, some kind of trivia or game. And yes, Gibbo saying have a good evening. Mumsy saying hugs to everyone. Indeed. So same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. Hope to see you then. And until then, catch you later.